Hey YouTube, this is Carson's XDM45 here, and I'm going to be doing a video on adding a second battery to my hunting bike. This is my 2019 Rad Rover. Bought several years ago. I use it on hunting. Been riding it during the off season, just trying to strengthen my legs, so forth. As you can tell, this thing gets way out there. Anyway, got opportunity here this next season on some more public land to get way out there in the woods. Last year, my son-in-law, who has the exact same bike with a single battery, he shot his real nice buck, and he rode the bike back to the truck to go get the game cart. Got back out there, got the buck put on the game cart, got about a mile from the truck, and his bike died. So we kind of put our heads together, and he's already put a second battery on his. I'm going to be doing one on mine. And so let me swing over here to the table. This is what we got. I guess it's a Halion or Visset. Anyway, this is the battery that I bought. It's 48 volt, 14 amp hours, which is exactly the same size as the stock battery. And we're going to put that on the back of the bike. This is probably going to be broken up in several smaller videos. I'll put them all together and kind of show some progress over the next few days. I've still got some parts to come in, and so I don't want to just drag this thing on. But all I bought was the battery. It run me $240, something like that. I got it off of Amazon. All the reviews I read on it, everybody was pleased with it, and so I went ahead and got it. It's got the charger with it, the charging cable. It's got I think it's an Anderson connector, I believe. Anyway, I've got some T90 connections that are coming in, and a few other things that I've got to put together, one extension. But we're going to put this battery on the bike. Now, why did I choose this battery without one of those fancy ones in the case? Let me put this over on the bike. We're going to set it on right there. Now, why did I choose that? Because I'm kind of if you've watched any of my other videos, I'm kind of a bigger fella and I'm getting smaller, but I have had a challenge of trying to get my leg over the back end of this bike to sit on the seat. And with one of those great big batteries that sticks up that far, you know, it would make it almost impossible for me to get on this bike. And so we're going to put this battery on this rack, and I'll show you what we do with the battery. We're going to put it on the rack. We are going to use some Gorilla tape, and we're going to cover this battery with the Gorilla tape. I got some stir sticks from Lowe's. These are the kind of thick boards. I'm going to cut these so that they'll fit on that rack. You'll see. And then I'm going to glue them down with some they call it shoe goo. It's like a silicone based type of adhesive. And then I've got some industrial strength Velcro, and I'm going to put Velcro on the bottom of the battery and on the rack. That way, when I put the battery on the rack, and then I've got some long zip ties, we're going to put those couple zip ties on there. That battery shouldn't go anywhere. So I should be able to hook it up and have two batteries. It's not going to increase your overall speed, but it will double your capacity. So getting way back in the woods, 3 or 4 miles, and if you do shoot something, you'll have enough battery to get in and get out and not have to worry about having to push it the last mile. Anyway, this video right now is a little over 4 minutes. I'm going to cut it off, and I'll show you some progress probably the next few days. You know, as the parts come in, we'll put it all together, and then we'll get it out there so you can watch it. So anyway, check with you here in a little bit. Doing the stuff that I can do before I still have some parts that are coming in, trying to get the stuff done. I've got this wrapped with the Gorilla tape. You know, and the reason I did that is simply for a little bit of extra protection as far as wet, as far as rain. And then I used one of the paint stirrers here. I've got the 2 pieces of wood. I've got them in there, and then this evening I will end up gluing this, and then I'll put the I'll put the Velcro on that, and I'll also put the Velcro on the bottom of the battery. And then we'll set the battery on there. We'll probably put some on top of it, just kind of weight it down, and that will hold it in place. By tomorrow morning, we should be good to go on it. So just stay tuned. Now, got the other side done. I've got the pieces of wood put in there. I've got the adhesive, the shoe glue put down in there. I have another layer on top of the wood, and I've got the other side of the Velcro strip put on there. I'm going to put something on top of it, hold it down, put some weight on it, let it sit for the night, and we'll come back to it. Making a little bit of progress. I've got the bottom of the battery. I've got half of the Velcro strip on there. This is that shoe glue, the stuff that I use. I mean, it works great. You on your shoes, your boots, whatever. But I've repaired so many things with this stuff. It's like a silicone type thing. It's extremely sticky. It'll stick just about anything. But it works really well. You get these at Walmart. Academy carries this stuff also. But this stuff is, I mean, this stuff is awesome. So I've got it on the battery. I've got the Velcro on there, and I've got the little board there, the little stir there, kind of on there, and I've got some weight. Those are some of the lead ingots from my bullet casting. So I've got just to weight that down to keep that Velcro strap. I've got it fixed. It should be dry in the morning time, and we'll continue. All right, here we go. We've got the battery on the back of the on the back rack there. I think the last segment that I showed where I was gluing the Velcro on the battery and on the rack itself. I put that on this afternoon and put the battery, that Velcro. I was having to use two hands on the back of the battery and lift it up, trying to get it off of the Velcro, and basically almost picking up the entire rear end of the bike. So needless to say, that Velcro strip that's on there, that battery ain't going anywhere. And then of course, if you can see here, I put a couple zip ties on there. So I've got that plugged in. As you can tell by the green light, it is plugged in all the way. I've got the leads coming out right here. Okay, here's the female end of the T90. This is the plug. All right, and then our next step, we're waiting on one part to come in tomorrow, and then we will end up the controller, the cable that goes to it. We've got to come down through the bottom here. We'll end up having to put the bike upside down, but I got to get that extension for the controller, and then I got to swap out the lead here. This lead, which goes underneath, I got to pull all that out, and then I'll put a T90 on there. So we should be good to go. So far it's working, looks pretty good. I tried it out once I put the battery on, and I had no problem whatsoever, you know, getting my leg up and getting over the battery and everything to get on the seat. But this is by the way, this is just air pump that I got attached on there. A couple of zip ties, got that in place just in case I get out in the woods and I got, you know, low tire or whatever. Anyway, more to come. All right, we're making progress on here. We got the other battery. I showed it to you here a few minutes ago, and now we've got the bike turned upside down, and we've got the connector for the actual stock battery. I got that pulled through the frame. You got to pull it through this grommet right here, and I don't know if I'm going to try to shove it back through there. Well, I can't, because I bought, the part I was waiting for was a Rad Rover to XT90 extension. The picture on the website made it look like it was 8, 9, 10 inches long. Here it is right here. That's it. From here to here. That's as big as the extension is. And got the wires all put together. Got them zip tied and got me another splash guard on there. So if that looks kind of like the writing on the side of a plastic bucket, that's because that's what it is. I used a plastic bucket. It's already curved because it's a bucket, and that's what I cut my splash guards out of. It's very tough, durable plastic, and I mean it covers from here all the way back here, and then I've got the actual fender right here, and so all the wiring in here is all covered. And so we're making progress. We're gonna flip the bike over and get some more zip ties and get that battery cradle off of there and get a new fitting, new end on it, and we're almost done. Okay, got the bike picked back up on its side. I've got the cable running here, zip tied up here. Let me get around the other end of the bike so you can see it. I've got the cable, I got it zip tied right here. Now I've actually got it connected to the spare battery, and it is on. It is on. And this battery is charged full, and it shows 54.3 volts, which is the exact same that I have for the other battery. I've got the cradle for the Rad battery. I've got it off, and we're gonna fix that here real quick. Okay, here we go. I had a mess up. Reading this paper here, basically the long story short is when I put the end on the cradle for the battery, it went on backwards. I followed the instructions as far as the polarity, and it was wrong. So yeah, I put it together, and this is what happened. That I burned out a connector. I had to go buy some more connectors. So use my meter, and I figured out which side of the cradle is positive and negative. How did I do that? If you look on, let me get my flashlight here. If you look on the battery really close on the right hand side, very small, you're going to see a positive sign, a plus sign. And on the left hand side of the holes there, you're going to see a negative sign. Well, of course, you take that battery, you flip it upside down. This peg on this side is the positive, which corresponds with the red wire. This peg right here is the negative, which corresponds with the black wire. I've tested that with my meter, and we're good to go. Yeah, when it happened, scared the fire out of me. I panicked because I thought, oh my goodness, I've destroyed this battery. But you know, I tested the voltage. After that, I put it on the charger, and it charged up fine. So I think we're good. I think it'll just melt my connectors here. So we're gonna get those connectors replaced, and we should be up and going here in a few minutes. Well, we're finally done. I got the cradle back on the bike. I've got the battery on there. Got it hooked in. This is the cable. I had to repair. This is the connection that I had to repair. So it was no big deal. I found I didn't realize it, but these T90 connectors, they're in the hobby shop world. That's where you find them. Man, I was going to like the electrical supply companies and all kinds of stuff, and they were scratching their heads looking at me like I was an idiot. But yeah, they're in the hobby shop world, used on the big, large remote control cars and so forth. But anyway, I found some more, got that repaired. That's not a problem. This is the end for the second battery. Okay, and I've got a plug over here. Show you, I got a plug right there. And what I've done is I cut the leads off, and then I filled it full of that shoe goo, full of that silicone stuff. I'm going to let that sit. And what I'll do is I'll ride, that will be basically a cap to put on the end of that cable. So you know, it doesn't get dirt or anything like that in it when I'm riding down the trail. But anyway, I've got a little, like last thing, a little tie down. That's what it is. I got a little tie down thing here that I'm gonna try to figure out where we want to put this crazy mess. But anyway, that's very, very minor. So anyway, yeah, I had a small problem, and maybe I didn't read the instructions right. I don't know, but it's working, man. It is working. Batteries seems to be fine. I'm gonna take it for a ride out here in a few minutes and see how we're doing. So anyway, I hope this maybe helped some people, gave them some ideas of what to do. Got the second battery on here, and I mean that battery is solid. It ain't going anywhere. And got everything connected, and so we are good to go. We are good to go. We plan on getting way back in the woods this next hunting season, and we'll have enough battery and enough power. I might do a video just on my bike here in a little while, but anyway, I appreciate you watching. Take care.